Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And in this video, we are going to take a look at a very inexpensive managed switch. And when I say very inexpensive, from some of the Grandstream resellers, you can get the GWN7711, which I have here. You can get this switch for $20, and it is fully managed, and it's 8-port, fully managed, can be adopted, can be managed standalone, or can use any of the other controller methods. And I'm pretty excited about this because, 8-port switches, these inexpensive ones, sometimes people will just be like, I don't need PoE, I'm going to throw in an unmanaged switch. For $20. For $20. Now, I will tell you from the resellers, the Grandstream resellers where you can find this for $20, the shipping is going to cost you $20. So, if you're going to buy this switch by itself, I'll leave an Amazon affiliate link because it is about $45 from Amazon. But if this is all you're ordering from the reseller, this is about the price is going to be about the same. So you can see it's a plastic case. We got the mounting holes on the bottom, 8 gigabit ports, and we've got this barrel power adapter that comes with it. Now, what I was going to do for this video was I was going to use a PoE splitter, a gigabit PoE splitter, and I was going to power this from my switch. So I got all excited. I found the box that my splitter was in, and if you remember, the last time I used this splitter was when we were PoE charging Grandstream Wi-Fi phone. And because of that, that's a USB plug on there, not a barrel adapter. So I've got to buy another one of these, but I'll leave affiliate link to that down below as well. So like I said, nice small desktop switch. There's another switch in this series, which is the 7711P, which provides 4 ports of PoE output. But let's take a look at the data sheet on this, and then we'll plug it in and we'll take a look at the actual user interface. So we'll come down here, 8 gigabit ports, loop detection, cable test, port mirroring, IGMP snooping for multicast, LLDP for automatic discovery, provisioning, and management of endpoint devices. Like I said, can be managed from GDMS, GWN Manager, and then any router. So any of the GWN series of routers, the GCC series of convergence appliances can all manage this switch. Built-in QoS. So let's go down here. Power supply, 5 volts, 0.6 amps. So I'm going to make sure that when I buy that PoE splitter, that it can handle that. No PoE output on this, so ignore that. We do have a reset pinhole. Where was that at? Oh, it's next to the power there. Now, we've got a total non-blocking throughput on this switch of 8 gigabits with a total switching capability of 16 gigabits. That's because when you're gigabit full duplex, you can send and receive a gigabit at the same time. Supports jumbo frames all the way up to 15K. Does have an 11.9 million packets per second forwarding buffer. The packet buffer is 4 megabytes. Or is that supposed to be megabytes or megabits? Can handle 8,000 MAC addresses before this thing's going to lock up on you. Supports 32 VLANs out of the 4,090 whatever that are available. Supports port-based VLAN, 802.1q VLAN, and voice VLAN. You can set up lags on this little switch. QoS, all the great QoS features we've come to know with Grandstream. Let's see. Does this one have a Kensington lock? This one does not. Wait a minute. Are there two reset buttons on this? So the actual reset button is on the bottom, but I don't see a Kensington lock. So you could set this on a desk, mount it somewhere, and if you're making another order from from somebody, $20, $20 for this. Okay, down here, this is not for this switch. Up here with the PoE. But down here it does show that you could use this with all the different VLANs and all that good stuff. So let me get this fired up real quick. I will show you on Amazon. You could get this delivered tomorrow if you're a Prime member for $45. So that is, like I said, if you order this by itself from a reseller, the shipping costs as much, if not more, than the Switch. So if you did use Amazon, you would get it for $45 out the door. You would probably get it possibly quicker than if you ordered it that way. But let me pause this video. I'll get this thing plugged in. I got to take a picture of the password on the bottom, but we'll get into it and we'll see what's going on. Stand by. Real quick, one other thing I wanted to mention before I get this up and going is that actually on the bottom, where it tells us where this device is made. Let's see if we can get this thing to focus. It's actually, they're OEMing these or having these built in the Philippines and not in China. So I'm going to check the rest of my new incoming Grandstream gear. I also have a multi-site network that I'm setting up for somebody, and I'll be looking at the manufacturer country there because I don't know if that's a change or what. But let me get this thing plugged in and we'll be right back. All right, so found the IP address and pulled up the UI. So you can see that this is one of the newer UIs, and of course the default username is going to be admin, and then that picture that I took reading some of this stuff is really a young man's game, or I need to go get new glasses, which I probably need to go get new glasses. So we'll enter it. It's automatically telling us, hey, you need to update this default password. And now we are in the Switch. So it probably has a newer version of the firmware, I would imagine. So let's see if we can go to maintenance and upgrade. We will go to firmware.grandstream.com. We'll save that. We'll check for updates. We'll see if it detects an update. If not, we can grab the firmware file and we can upload it manually. We'll see how this works out for us. Firmware corruption, that's not good. And what I'm going to do is bring up the firmware site and we'll grab it and upload it. Hold on. All right, so we were quite a few firmware revisions behind. So quite a few. So we're on 1.0.3.13, and I think this other one is like 1.0.5. We'll see here when we're going to save configuration. We're going to hit upgrade now. It's going to do its thing. And really for $45, or if you're ordering a bunch of other stuff and you can get this Switch for $20, I mean, I can't, at this price, I can't justify using an unmanaged Switch unless I need a lot of Switch ports and their PoE, and I'm controlling that Switch and everything that's going on between the trunk between that Switch. But we see these types of little switches from all different kinds of manufacturers, and if you don't need PoE, and even if you do need PoE, it looks like you can get the PoE version now, the 7711. You can get that switch where you get 4 ports of AT, AF, and passive PoE. You can get that for $65. So really, when you're thinking about it, spend the extra money. You get full visibility into your network. So, all right, looks like we've rebooted. We've got a copyright date of 2025 at the bottom now. So let's log in and we'll take a look. Oh, no, we're on 1.0.7. So we were like four big releases behind. And I am managing this locally, but I can manage this with any GWN series router, any GCC convergence appliance. I can manage it with GWN Manager, which is the on-prem Grandstream device manager, or I can use their free GWN.cloud service and manage this. So there's all different types of ways you can manage this $20 switch, $45 from Amazon. All right, IP settings. So we could, doesn't look like I can change this management VLAN. That's because I don't have any other VLANs set up on this yet, but here we can set DHCP or static IP address. Here's our management platform, and you can see the different options here. So GDMS networking, layer 2 manager, layer 3 router, all different types of ways that we can manage this. Under switching, we got port settings here. So if we come in, here's where we can set our jumbo frames. And if we edit a switch port, we can put descriptions in there. I highly encourage anyone who's managing switches to label their switch ports. Port is enabled. Speed and duplex are auto. If I uncheck that, I can change that. Unless you need to change that, I would recommend leaving that at default. And then we've got flow control down here. Here's our lag setup, so you can see we can do 4 lags. If we edit this, it asks us which ports we want to put into the lag, so we could do 7 and 8, and then the speed of the lag, flow control there. We can do MAC address search. So I don't have a MAC address off the top of my head, but we can see the MAC addresses on the switch there, so that's kind of like your ARP table. Spanning tree does support spanning tree, both standard spanning tree and rapid spanning tree. And then we can come in and actually do the STP configuration at the port level. VLANs, we've got per port VLAN setting here. So if we come in here and we do VLAN 2, we can set that on those ports. Here's 802.1q VLAN. So we can enable this. Save that. We can come in here and add a VLAN, and we could actually give it VLAN 2. Call it whatever. Member type here, we can tag that on all ports. We could untag it on all ports or remove it. I'm just going to go ahead and tag it. And then save that. Down here's our 802.1q PVID. So if we want to manually come in here and change that right now, you see the PVID is set to 1. So I could come in here to port 2 and set that to PVID 2. We can do VLAN transparent. And it says once enabled, the port will no longer check the VLAN table entries and will directly pass through all VLAN packets. So it's the first time I remember seeing that recently. That's interesting. Down here we can set our voice VLAN, and we can do tagged OUIs, untagged OUIs. Come to our OUI table. You can see Grandstreams in here. We could fill in other manufacturers, Fanville, Cisco, Yealink, Poly, all the brands. IGM snooping here for our multicast. And this looks like it could tell us what the dynamic router port is. I mean, for a $20 switch. QoS mode, so we can do port based, 802.1p or DSCP based. QoS, and fully featured, able to completely get granular with our quality of service on a $20 switch. Security, it does have storm control, DHCP snooping. Monitoring, we've got our port statistics. We can do port mirroring with this. We can do a cable test. loopback detection. Then under maintenance, we've obviously got our upgrade. We can back up the configuration from this. We can restore the configuration. We can do a factory reset. It's got ping built into the interface here. And besides PoE at a $65 switch, I don't know how much more we would expect a switch for $20 to be able to do. I definitely have plans for this switch. Full SNMP settings here with SNMP version 2. And then LLDP. So we don't have that enabled yet. We could turn that on. And then it could tell us about our neighbors if our neighbors are running it, and it looks like our neighbors are running it. And you can see that we are plugged into gigabit port 2 on our Omada 24 port switch. So LLDP working out of the box. I like I said, for a $20 switch, if you're ordering a bunch of stuff, or a $45 switch if you're overnighting this from Amazon, if you need a switch without PoE, don't use an unmanaged switch. You can use something like this for just a couple dollars more and have that full visibility into your network and everything that's plugged in there. So let me know at what point, I know there's still a lot of unmanaged switches out there, at what point does the price and the features make you go, okay, I'll spend the extra $20 to be able to see what's going on and control my network. Now, obviously, there are some things that are missing from this, but where you're going to use this switch, you know, behind a TV, maybe in your kitchen, it's going to be a desktop switch, right? So I don't think you're going to put this in a place where you necessarily need to worry about port security or doing any type of routing with this switch. You're definitely not going to use this switch to do any routing, but all of the layer 2 functionality is there that you could expect out of a switch at this price point. So let me know down below your thoughts on that. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok. Those links are down below, along with affiliate links, a Patreon link. And if you need IT consulting, whether it's for your network itself or voice over IP, storage, security, all of those things, head on over to williehowe.com, fill out the contact form, and someone will be in touch with you as soon as possible. Come on over to community.williehowe.com and discuss this switch with us today. Once again, I'm Willie. I want to thank you for being here, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.